Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here alongside Varosh, and we're moving on to the third set of STX Soul versus KTL Rollster. We've had some pretty heavy core cheese from STX Soul so far, and they are up 2-0. Both of them have been successful. Calm 3-hatch Hydra beatdown on Violet, and Washington going for a BBS against Luxury's 12-hatch, which really just absolutely killed him and no chance of a comeback. So we're going to go on to set 3. This is going to be Cal in the top right and Hoejja in the bottom left. I know that the only reason I particularly know Hoejja is two reasons, actually. One, because his name sounds like Choja, and Choja had an epic game with Reach that was just so cool and pimp his play like, and you should go see that if you haven't. And second is because he sniped Bisu, and I think it was the Winners League last season. So that's the only other reason I really know Hoejja, and that was on Andromeda. So that was also a very cool game if you want to check that out. But so I think he's pretty good versus Protoss. I've only seen him a couple times, and he's done pretty well. So I'm hoping that he shows up a little bit better today in this game than some of the other KT guys, and hopefully we can get a game that lasts more than 5 minutes this time.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing maybe the second tier of tech, maybe some lair level tech, or maybe Templars in this game. Any of that could be really exciting. I feel like Cal began his career known for his Protoss versus Zerg. I heard an interview where July Zerg once said that the only Protoss I'm afraid of playing is Cal. But like as his career's progressed, I feel like he's gotten better at all the other matchups, and his Zerg's kind of stood still. And statistically, it's only his second best matchup. But Cal still is a very good player, and despite the fact that he's no longer a Zerg specialist, he's still got great Protoss versus Zerg. So he's got a great chance in this game. I really like the new match point. They changed it so you could no longer seed to the natural, and now we see Protosses and Zergs on it all the time. I was getting kind of sick of Terran versus Terrans. Not to say that I don't like Terran versus Terrans, but I'm glad that they changed match points so that we could see a great game like Cal versus Hoejja, because Hoejja's a very respectable player. And oh man, because this is a two-player map, and obviously Cal scouted Hoejja first, he's able to go for the 14 Nexus. Which kind of begs the question, why would a Zerg go for a 12-hatch on this map? Go for a 12-hatch on any two-player map, because you know you're going to get scouted first and your opponent's going to be able to take an economic lead. I think the general consensus among Zergs is it's better to go like for an overpool and force them to put up a forge and maybe a cannon than, oh, this is going to be a battle. Oh, the probe gets a kill. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought, but who cares? That probe gets a kill, and Cal's in a dominant position already.
Well, I think the reason Hoejja did that, actually good play by Hoejja right at the beginning, looking for that possible proxy because of the first two games, and then came back into his 12-hatch. And by the way, that Nexus by Cal is actually going to be a 12 Nexus, not a 14. At least that would be the normal way to do it. And I think Hoejja does this because Hoejja is a big-time macro Zerg. He is not he is the opposite of Shine. If a game ends in 5 minutes, that means Hoejja lost. Probably lost badly. So he is the opposite. He would prefer a game to go 25 minutes. In fact, if the entire map could be mined out, Hoejja would be happier that way. That's the way he plays. So that's why Hoejja really is going for that 12-hatch. And I agree with you that on a two-player map, it's maybe not the best thing because obviously your opponent is going to know exactly what you're doing. You can get that economy up and running earlier. And I think, and in my opinion, Protoss gets more of an advantage definitely out of that than Zerg. But yeah, Hoejja definitely was going to do that no matter what. He's getting his layer up already, so I think he has his third hatch up in the top left. So this should be pretty normal play here so far. I don't think this is not going to be any sort of a 3-hatch Hydra break or anything lame like that. And Cal actually looking like he's going to try and get a second drone. Not able to do so yet, but Zergling is also going to be around. They're going to be able to stop any sort of that probe from doing anything. I think he's also got a Zergling at Cal's base. Yes, he does, just to scout out, see if anything's going. But since he didn't put on much pressure and Cal's able to see that not a lot of Zerglings have been produced, Cal has not been forced to produce a second cannon or a third cannon, so that's going to help Cal economically as well. So Cal's definitely playing this in the right manner, knows he's playing a macro Zerg, scouted it out, skimping on cannons as much as he can because he knows Hoejja's not going for early pressure. So definitely good play by Cal, knowing his opponent and really playing accordingly.
Man, Hoejja's only produced one pair of Zerglings in this entire game. Besides that, all drones. And it looks like Cal hasn't even produced a Zealot yet. It's like they've prematurely... Oh, no, he did produce that one Zealot that we're just seeing now. It's like they agreed to a no rush 10. They're like, all right, I'll sit back, take 2 bases. You sit back, take 3 bases, and after we both macro up some respective forces, we'll see where we stand. And actually, the Zealot might be able to do some damage because there's only 2 Zerglings on the map. It gets a kill. That's bad micro by Hoejja. He pulled most of his drones halfway away, but left one there to die, and left another just sitting there not transferring. Oh, and he's bringing them back now too. He's only got 2 Zerglings, and it's going to be hard to engage that Zealot from its placement behind the mineral lines. The Spire is going up, and the first Corsairs are out. And I think Cal was actually, because he wasn't forced to build any defenses, he might have gotten that Corsair up a little bit faster. I don't know. It looks like it's out a little faster because the Spire isn't even close to being finished, and Cal's going to probably be able to pick off an Overlord in addition to getting a Scout, just because, I don't know, maybe it's the fact that it was a 12 hatch instead of an overpool, but it looks like that Spire's slower than we would normally see it.
Yeah, but it's okay here. I mean, I'm definitely going to say that Cal's...
Well, 2 Overlords are going to go down. That's going to hurt Hoejja.
That is bad for Hoejja. And did you see Cal's Zealot, Micro? That was awesome. Sitting back there, he went right behind the double mineral patch where only 1 Zergling come in from each side, and Hoejja missed microing a little bit, not bringing Zerglings in from both sides. He really should have 1 coming in from one side and 2 coming in from the other, but wasn't able to do that. So that Zealot actually got a couple of Zergling kills, got that drone kill, and disrupted mining, definitely worth every penny. And the 4th end, there's finally the 5th hatchery also going up finally at the 3rd base and the Hydra's Den. So this is very, very standard play from Hoejja. 3-hatch Spire into 5-hatch Hydra. Good old Neosaur. And we got Sarah Reaver coming out. That's right. We got Sarah Reaver. One of the hardest anyways, builds to do as a Protoss player. But we're going to be seeing Cal try it here, and we'll see how much success he has. I haven't seen Hoejja deal with Sarah Reaver before, so I can't really say anything in terms of how he's going to do, but definitely should be an interesting build, and he needs to scout it out. I think those Scourges have probably seen it floating throughout the base. They've probably seen it, so he should know it's coming. And one thing I do love seeing Zerg players do against Sarah Reaver is getting burrow for their Hydralisk and burrowing their Hydralisk around and trying to pop them up right underneath shuttles and Corsairs. That can be really, really effective and very, very cool. We got a couple of Mutalisks out as well, which is kind of odd, maybe to just chase the... I don't know what the Hydralisk is doing. Kind of weird here, as Cal's coming in here for a little bit of a push with 4 Zealots and a Dragoon, it looks like, and running away from the Mutalisks there, really. Oh, there's some more Mutalisks. So finally, there's the rest of the Mutalisks. We got 3 or 4 Mutalisks out right now, and they're just going to try and pick off these Zealots, and Cal's not really going to have much success with this attack at all. His first attack with that nice first Zealot was very, very nice, and throwing on a 6 hatchery, that's pretty ridiculous. I knew he was a macro Zerg, but geez, 6 hatcheries, that's pretty insane. And he's going to be able to pick off that Dragoon as well that's out here, so this early little mini push by Cal's going to be completely foiled, and I hope he's got enough units to load up with his Reaver. I hope he's got a couple Zealots at home. Yeah, there you go. He needs to have those Zealots at home in order to load up with his Reaver and also have some forces at home to defend. And hopefully he also has some Sares out in order to deal with these Mulas. So he's got a lot to deal with right now. Both these players really have a lot to deal with. But I think Cal's kind of on the back foot now just because he's lost those initial units and doesn't have as much to defend. So if there's a Hydralisk counter while he's out with his Sarah Reaver, it's going to be tough for him. He's going to have to use Sarah Reaver kind of defensively. He might be able to do that and kind of take his 3rd base with that Reaver. I've seen JB do that on this map before. Take that mineral only with your Sarah Reaver and try and defend it that way. We could be seeing Cal do something like that. But in terms of going on the offensive, I think Cal's going to have some trouble here without many forces on the ground.
Ooh, 2 Scourge just barely missing that shuttle. The shuttle did manage to micro around while the cannons took care of the Scourge. Cal threw up a 2nd Stargate. He saw that Hoejja had produced those Mutalisks to try to challenge his air superiority, and you can't do Sarah Reaver without air superiority. And actually, the Mutalisks coming in to engage the Corsairs, and there's so many Corsairs. I think both those Scourge landed. It wasn't on camera, but it looked like the Corsairs were engaging the Mutalisks at the time the Scourge came in. So maybe 1 Corsair. I only have circumstantial evidence. Speed Shuttle! What is this, Stork? I only have circumstantial evidence to declare that maybe 1 guy went down, 1 Corsair, but oh wow, that shuttle getting wrecked. It's already it's already, shields are down. It took a lot of hits just to get off that Scarab that did absolutely nothing. Good, timely drone pull by Hoejja and causing that Scarab to dud. So Cal's first little drop there severely damaged his shuttle. Well, not severely, but he didn't get anything out of it. He's got speed shuttle, so it's okay that the shuttle's